Imagine this. A loved one passes away, the will is read, and suddenly you realize your name is nowhere to be found. Not even a mention. It feels like a punch to the stomach. People often describe it as a mix of shock, confusion, and a bit of, surely this must be a mistake. If that's you right now, take a breath. Being left out of a will isn't the end of the story, and you may have more options than you think. I'm from Blackstone Solicitors, and today we're talking about what you can actually do if you've been left out of a will in England or Wales. Let's start with something important. Just because a will exists doesn't mean it's automatically the final word. Wills can be challenged, questioned, and in some cases changed by the courts. And no, that doesn't mean you're being greedy or dramatic. Sometimes wills are unfair, sometimes they're outdated, and sometimes they're just plain wrong. Take a real-world example. We once spoke to someone whose father had promised for years that she'd inherit the family home. But when he passed away, the will left everything to a distant cousin he barely saw. It turned out the will had been written decades earlier and never updated. Situations like that are more common than you'd think. So, what can you actually do? One of the most common routes is something called an Inheritance Act claim. This is for people who were financially dependent on the person who died. Maybe you lived with them, relied on them for support, or they'd been helping you with bills. If being left out of the will leaves you in a difficult position, the law may step in to make things fairer. Another situation is when the will itself might not be valid. That could be because the person wasn't of sound mind when they made it, or perhaps someone pressured them into signing something they didn't fully understand. We've seen cases where an elderly parent changed their will suddenly, cutting out children in favor of a new partner who'd only been around for a few months. When something feels off, it's worth looking into. There's also the issue of promises. English law has a concept called proprietary estoppel. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. If someone made you a clear promise about inheriting something, and you relied on that promise to your detriment, the court may enforce it. Think of someone who spends years working on a family farm for little pay because they were told, "One day, this will all be yours." If the will later says otherwise, the court may step in. Now, before you rush into anything, timing matters. There are strict deadlines for certain types of claims. For example, Inheritance Act claims usually need to be made within 6 months of probate being granted. That's not a lot of time, especially when you're grieving, dealing with family tensions, and trying to make sense of everything. And here's something people don't always realize. Challenging a will doesn't automatically mean you're heading for a dramatic courtroom showdown. Many disputes are resolved through negotiation or mediation. Sometimes all it takes is a calm conversation backed by solid legal advice. The key thing is this. If you've been left out of a will, don't assume you're powerless. Don't assume the will is perfect, and definitely don't assume you're the only one this has ever happened to. Families are complicated, relationships change, promises are made and forgotten. Wills don't always keep up. At Blackstone Solicitors, we help people navigate these situations every day. If you're feeling confused, overwhelmed, or just unsure of your rights, reach out to us. A quick conversation can help you understand where you stand and what your next steps might be. You don't have to face this alone, and you don't have to accept an unfair outcome. There are options, there are solutions, and there is support. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. And if you've been left out of a will and want to talk things through, get in touch with Blackstone Solicitors. We're here to help you find clarity and move forward with confidence.